Okay, so just a short message on this week's parsha as we're coming into Shabbat. First of all, this Shabbos we have a discrepancy between us here in Eretz Israel and our friends in Chutz La'aretz that are not in Eretz Israel, because for us it wasn't a second day Yontif right after Shavuot. We already read Parshat Naso last week, whereas in Chutz La'aretz they're only reading Parshat Naso this week, and we're going to have this discrepancy all the way until before Tisha B'Av. You know, it always bothers, why don't we do it earlier? But this is just how it goes. So we're going to be in different parshiot. Usually it's a question of people traveling, but we don't have so many people traveling during this time period about missing the parshiot. So the parsha actually begins, Parshas Behaalotcha, וידבר השם אל משה לאמור, דבר אל אהרון ואמרת אליו, בהעלותך את הנרות אל מול פני המנורה, יאירו שבעת הנרות. When you light up the candles, so then it should be a mul pnei menorah, vayaz kein Aaron el mul pnei menorah, and Aaron does exactly like Moshe Rabbeinu told him from the mouth of Hashem to light up the menorah. Now, the messaging of the menorah actually does not appear here the first time in the Torah. We found the menorah, Menorat HaZahav, appearing in the Torah 3 times. This is the third and final time, actually, that the Menorat HaZahav appears. Where does it appear in the other 2 times? So the first time it appears is in Parashat Tetzaveh. Tetzaveh, right? If you flip back to Parshas Tetzaveh, right after Truma, it says, Ve'ata Tetzaveh, et bnei Yisrael v'ikchu elecha shemen zayit zach katit lamaor la'alot ner tamid. You should command the Jewish people to take shemen, zayit zach, be'oel moed, v'chutz hazeh, ya'aroch oto Aaron uvanav me'erev ad boker. The beginning of Parshas Tetzaveh tells us about Aaron HaKohen lighting the menorah. Also in Parshas Emor, after the Moadim, in Vayikra Chavdal, it also says, Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemor, tzav et bnei Yisrael v'ikchu elecha shemen zayit katit lamaor la'alot ner tamid. And you should light it, v'chutz la'parochet, העדות באוהל מועד יערוך אותו אהרון מערב עד בוקר לפני השם תמיד על המנורה הטהורה יערוך את הנרות לפני השם תמיד. Why do we have the story of Aaron HaKohen lighting the menorah 3 times in the Torah? As here, the parsha of Behaalotcha את הנרות אל מול פני המנורה is only the 3rd time. There's a message, I believe, that is here that a menorah, which plays such an integral part in our life, you know, it's the symbol, it's the Jewish symbol, it's the symbol of Medinat Israel, if you ever think about it, right? The symbol of Medinat Israel is the nevuah of the Menorah Tazav with the 2 leaves of Alei Zait on the different sides. It's a very Jewish symbol, and it symbolizes something very, very profound, because let's try to analyze a candle and a light. When do we use candles in Judaism? So number 1 is the basic human use of a candle. The candle actually illuminates things for us. It allows us to understand reality. A person could have so much. A person could have a house, could have furniture, could have food, could have everything. But if he doesn't have a light, so then he has nothing. He can't see anything. He can't see the food. He can't see the furniture. He's bumping into things. So light is something that we can't hold. It's something that we can't touch. It's something that we can't feel. But without light, we have nothing. And with light, whatever physical things we have, we can now enjoy and appreciate because we could see them. If we can't see them, so we're not, we can't appreciate anything. So the first thing that candles do, that light does, is that it allows us to see the reality that's in front of us. The second thing that candles are used for is for honor. In fact, we're about to light Shabbos candles, and candles they're coming lechavod. It's oneg Shabbos and it's kavod Shabbos, the whole sugya of the 2 aspects of Ner Shabbos, for kavod or for oneg. But at the end of the day, it's here to respect. You go into a king's palace. The lights are on. The candles were on. The candles in the Beis HaMikdash would burn even during the daytime because it's a sign of respect. And also, there is the aspect of simcha. Whenever there's a simcha in our life, not just Shabbos, but also Yontiv, and also when there's a Brit Milah, you light 2 candles. When there's a Chatunah, the parents walk their children down to the chuppah with 2 candles. The concept of candles, follows through with Am Yisrael whenever we have a simcha. So it's used to reveal to us the reality. Number 2, for simcha. Number 3, for honor and for glory. And I think these 3 aspects are the aspects that appear every time that Menorat HaZahav appears in the Chumash. The first time is Ata Tetzaveh. It's right after the building of the Mishkan. We're building the Mishkan. What happens when a person would walk into the Mishkan? Person would walk into the Mishkan, suddenly he would have clarity and he would understand the reality, the real reality that Hashem runs the world. He would see the Asara Nisim, the 10 miracles. He would be able to recognize that there's a creator to this world. That was the power of the Mishkan, and that's the menorah that illuminates within the Mishkan. It's an illumination of being able to see something that not necessarily everybody is able to see. And when one is able to see that God runs the world, so then it gives him a whole new perspective on reality. And then we use the menorah in Parshas Emor after all of the Moadim. The Moadim is the Zman of Vesamachta Bechagecha, of Zman Simchasenu, the Zman of joy. So that's why at the end of all of the holidays, we have the menorah appearing again, and it appears in order to show us some more light, the light of Simcha. And here, finally in Behaalotcha, it's after all of the Nesiim bring their korbanos. Rashi says, Lama nismecha parshas Behaalotcha es a menorah, es a neros, right next to the Nesim, because Aaron HaKohen was nechla shadaito, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, you are also, they brought their korbanos to be mechabed me. You're going to have the ultimate honor of kavod, of honoring Hashem, by lighting the candles in honor of Hashem. We find that we light candles to honor a neshama, to honor something spiritual, to honor somebody, a king that is still alive. It's lechavod uletifaris. It's coming to give glory and to give honor. That's an integral part of the Mishkan, and that's why there's the mitzvah to bring in the shemen. The shemen is not just, otherwise, why was it in the list of all the vessels? Did you ever think about it in Truma? It has a list of 13 things that you have to bring to the Mishkan, to build the Mishkan. And it's tchelet, ve'argaman, ve'tolat shani, ve'shesh, ve'izim, all these physical things that they would bring in order to build the Mishkan. And then it says you have to bring shemen lama'or, ubsamim l'shemen hamishcha. You need to bring the fragrance, and you need to bring the oil for candles. Is that a kli? Is that a vessel? Are you going to build something with shemen? No, it's used to do the menorah. We don't find korbanos as the list because the candles, a lit Mishkan, is part of the building of the Mishkan. The building of the Mishkan is not just the physical structure, but that it's lit, it has a good fragrance in it. You walk in, now you understand exactly what the Mishkan is all about. So these are the three mitzvos that we have. The three mitzvos that we have of lighting the menorah is to show that the reality in front of us, to show the reality of Hashem. Number two is that it's a time of simcha. It brings glory and simcha to our life, and it also brings kavod, glory to Hashem. Those are the three mitzvos that we have of Behaalotcha menorah. But I want to take it one step deeper. I want to take it one step deeper that really applies to our personal life right away. Because, a lot of times, I don't know if this applies to you, but it definitely applies to the younger generation. Ask your grandchildren next time you speak to them on the phone, what is the first thing they do when they wake up? The first thing they do when they wake up. A large majority of today's society, when they wake up and the alarm clock rings on their phone, so they turn the alarm clock off, and then what's the first thing they do? They pick up their phone, and while they're still in bed, they are scrolling, seeing the messages they got overnight, the emails they got overnight, everything on their phone before they even leave their bed. Now, what happens when something like that happens? When something like that happens, so they end up creating a reality for themselves that their day is very reactive to everything that is coming in. There's so much information coming to us nowadays. It used to be just 15 years ago that the world was static, and if we were looking for information, we had to go and research it and find it. And still today, we could go online and we could research and find different information that are important to us. But that's me choosing what I want to see and what I want to research. Nowadays, we live in a world where all of the information is coming to us. We're sitting there and there's commercials and there's information and there's different, that's what social media is. It's like you're hearing from all your friends all the time what's important to them or what they saw fit to share. So you're getting a lot of information, whether it's messages or statuses or whatever it might be. And therefore, it ends up taking away from the flow of the day right from the get-go. Study has shown on highly successful people, that number one, they have a very clear morning routine. They have a clear morning routine, but it's not only that it's a set morning routine, it's a consistently set morning routine every single day, and it doesn't change. And that morning routine usually they don't touch their phone for the first X amount of minutes or hours of the day, but rather they're meditating, they're thinking, okay, what do I want to do today? They have time for like wellness of the body and of the soul. And they take a few minutes every single day, every single morning to have a set morning routine, whether it's exercise. This is not even a Jewish concept, but this is what has been the research of highly successful and influential people. They have a set morning routine that they choose what it is they want to do, and they don't shift from that set morning routine. In a certain way, I think that's what the Torah is telling us over here. Behaalotcha es haneros. It says, "Vayas Cain Aaron," and Aaron did exactly that he was told to do. Lahagid shvachoshi lo shina. It's to tell us the greatness of Aaron Cohen, that he didn't change anything. Not only he didn't change from what he was told by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and number two is that he didn't change from his daily routine of being Meitiv Esaneris every single day. And not only that, he started off the day with bringing light into his life by choosing what is it that's important to me? What is it that will show me the reality of life? What is it that's going to bring me simcha in my life? What is it that's going to honor Hashem and honor myself in this world? What's going to be Tiferet Leoseh v'Tiferet Leyotzra, right? What's going to be the glory that I want to bring into this world? And this is something that Aaron Cohen did every single day, to be Meitiv Esaneros, Lahagit Shvacho Shelo Shina, that he didn't change anything. In a certain way, that is the message here for us. The message is that we choose what it is we want to accomplish every single day. What is the light that we want to bring into this world every single day? What type of change and effect we want to bring into this world every day. And I think this is a very fundamental message for us. And in a certain way, it's a fundamental message for our children. And the way to teach it to our children is also hinted in this week's parsha. And that's Behaalotcha et hanerot, says Rashi, sheteheh shalevet holam me'alea, that the candle needs to go up by itself, which means that when you light a candle, the first second, it takes it like till it lights up. So do you keep it there lit, that you're lighting the candle until it's a full flame, or do you just light it a little bit and then you pull the candle away and you let it go up the rest of it by itself? There's something very symbolic over here, that the mitzvah is to light it a little bit and let it go up by itself, because the light is also representing the concept of chinuch, of learning Torah, of Talmud Torah. And the way to give it over is to light up, to ignite somebody, and then to step away and to let them ignite themselves. Meaning, we're not just here to teach our children and to tell them what to do, and our grandchildren, and to be there standing over them and constantly illuminating them, but rather to lead by example, to show what type of morning routine we have, what type of light we have, what type of light we choose to bring to the world every single day. And then the children are able to experience that, to see that in their parents, to understand, this is my father's morning routine. This is why he was successful. This is going to be my morning routine as well. And I think that's why that this parsha represents a very fundamental yesod in our life, because light and candles and the menorah is an integral part of what Jewish identity is all about. It's the symbol of what Judaism is all about. And that's really what we represent. We light it, like we said, it's something that you don't touch and you can't feel, but it gives you everything. And light represents that Torah, the wisdom, the understanding of life itself. It's also something that you can't touch and you can't grasp onto it, but it gives you everything. It gives you the understanding of the meaning of life, the purpose of life. And that's why it's such a schus that we have an opportunity to meet every single day over here, and especially right before Shabbat, to come in with the feeling of Shabbat Kodesh, the feeling of a community, the feeling of togetherness, the feeling of Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala. May we merit to have a tremendous Shabbat, a Shabbat of Shalom, a Shabbat of peace. We're in a time period where we're looking for peace. The Jewish world, the world itself, is there's a lot of lack of peace going on over here, right? Just last week's parsha, we spoke about that the ultimate bracha is V'yasem lecha shalom, birkat kohanim, the bracha that Hashem gives to the Jewish people, is the bracha, the ultimate, the final, the highest bracha is the bracha of shalom, the bracha of peace. What's the difference between peace and shalom? Did you ever think about it? Maybe we'll save it for next week. The difference between peace and shalom, right? Peace. Anybody have a Webster dictionary at home or an Oxford dictionary at home? Could look up the definition of what peace is. Is actually, I went to look this up today. I didn't have any dictionary at home, but my sister-in-law, who's British and very smart, so she has an Oxford dictionary at home. So I drove over to her house to look up the definition of peace. Anybody know what the definition of peace is? I was shocked. The definition of peace is, I forgot what the words are. The words are, I have to look it up. Okay, I need somebody to look it up. I don't know what the definition is. I have to remember what it is. Anybody have it? You know what? Let's look it up together. You guys ready? We're going to look it up together. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Here we go. Okay. Webster Dictionary or Oxford? Oxford Dictionary. No PDF. Okay, here we go. Is this the right thing? Okay, here we go. Peace. What's Oxford Dictionary's definition of peace? I don't know what this is. Okay, we're going into Webster Dictionary. You guys ready? There you go. Webster Dictionary. Peace. Definition of peace: a state of tranquility or quiet, such as freedom from civil disturbances, a state of security, freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotion. Okay, when I looked it up in the Oxford Dictionary, one second, how do we do this? Okay. When I looked it up in the Oxford Dictionary, what came out, you have it over there? Okay, so it's freedom. Freedom from oppression, freedom from wars, freedom from fights, freedom from noise. It was all freedom from something. And in a certain way, people are, we, especially in world Jewry, we're looking for freedom right now. We're looking for peace, some peace and quiet. But how do we say freedom in Hebrew? We call it shalom. And shalom has a totally different meaning than just peace. Shalom represents shleimut, represents wholesomeness, represents harmony, represents togetherness, represents, something that's drastically different than just freedom from something else. It represents that I have harmony between every aspect of my life, my physical aspect of my life and my spiritual aspect of my life. It's harmony between our family. There is shalom, there is peace and shleimut, wholesomeness in the family and in the community, and in fact, all of Am Yisrael, and in fact, the entire world, the entire human race, every single individual part plays a role in fulfilling a higher goal and a higher mission. That's what shalom is that everything is working in harmony to glorify God's name in this world, to make this world a better place. That's what real shalom is. That's what real peace is. It's not just the lack of, the freedom from war, the freedom from oppression, the freedom from noise. It's not just making sure that all of external things are not oppressing us. It's rather that we have a goal, and shalom, we are beshleimut. We've reached the ultimate peak. We're reaching our goal together with every aspect of our life and with every aspect of our community. That was the ultimate bracha that we were davening for. Last week's parsha, we say it every day in Birkat Kohanim, V'yasem lecha shalom, which is the ultimate bracha. That is the kli that's machzik bracha, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Wein always says this, that when he first came to the supermarket, he bought a lot of things here in Eretz Yisrael, and then he asked for a bag, and the guy said, En sakit, lochim abayta. And he couldn't carry all the groceries because there's no sakit. If you don't have a bag that holds all of your brachos, so you can have a lot of bracha, but you don't have a bag, so everything falls apart. That's what peace is all about. Peace, which is not really peace, it's shalom. Shalom is that shleimus, is that I have the kli that holds all my brachos in my life. I have physical bracha, spiritual bracha, other brachos in our community. It only works together if there is peace, if there's harmony, if everyone recognizes other people's milas, and then we're able to work together to reach those goals. May we be zoche to have a Shabbat shalom, a Shabbat full of peace, full of harmony. That's why we say Shabbat shalom. We say that Shabbat should give us that shleimut, that wholesomeness in our life. So yashar koach to everybody. Really, really appreciate it. May we be zoche to have a tremendous Shabbat.